Hello and welcome to Brick Rolling, a Danish interlocking brick-based RPG. I'm John Swain and I'm joined by Matt Jones.
Hi.
Nailed it. We are today looking at character creation. Using the rules of Quest, they give us a character sheet that you pretty much just fill out with all the information of your character. A lot of the traits can be picked from a list they give you if you can't think of one, but it's pretty much anything goes.
Hi, my name is Poppyseed Wispwood. I'm 15 years old and stand 3 foot tall. I'm the party's pint-sized naturalist.
The naturalist channels their connection with nature to manipulate the elements, commune with animals, and even transform themselves into beasts.
It's when people see me, Poppyseed Wispwood, they first notice my... Well, I hate to hammer home the point, but they're probably going to notice his height. And I think they're probably also going to notice his cheery disposition and his, I would probably say his connection to nature. He's a naive little child of the wood.
Okay.
He hasn't really been out. He wears his woodland cloak and his distinctive acorn hat, and he moves with a spring in his step, of course. I'm from Springbrook. You probably haven't heard of it, where my people are known for being hospitable, overwhelmingly welcoming, and too trusting, to the point where if you happen to be a rogue or some kind of trickster, you can make an absolute killing in Springbrook. So here's the tricky thing about Poppyseed is Poppyseed has had a bit of an interesting upbringing, which has led him to have some views and habits that are slightly off the beaten path in Springbrook, where effectively Poppyseed himself is a pint-sized amateur confidence trickster and cat thief. So yeah, I think what's happened is Poppyseed's sin over the years as he's grown up. Just the people who occasionally stumble upon the town get greeted with open arms, fed, and then just take the villagers for fools and run off with the contents of, the town hall and the bank. Yeah, the town's constantly broke, so he's breaking out from the village because, despite what everyone else believes, he believes in the power of the almighty dollar. He'll take what he can. I dream of a future where Springbrook and its people are safe and protected. He would have a bow, fairly proficient, kind of for a 15-year-old, 3 foot little pixie type boy. And then he probably has some kind of little carving knife, dagger type thing, but nothing too particularly terrifying. Yeah, that's what he carries with him. Yeah, he probably has like a little pouch of herbs and wildflowers.
Abilities. So you get to choose 6 abilities.
The sheet kind of gives you lots of different like naturalist routes to go down. The one I'm most excited about is the animal form shapeshifting route.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Which allows you to adopt the shape of a wild animal, its senses and its motion. And that can be as small as a mouse or it can be as big as a horse. So there's also Thorn, which means he rolls a dice. And I guess if he's successful, opens the palm and conjures a poisonous thorn that you shoot in a straight line towards a nearby target or object. If you roll 20, the thorn's poison is amplified. If you hit an organic creature, its skin becomes swollen and it cannot see beyond its reach. It can't speak or cast spells until the end of its next turn. I also like the look of Cloud Call. You swirl your hands in the air, producing a thick fog centered on you. The fog rolls rapidly, spilling around corners and down slopes. Within a few seconds, you blanket everything nearby in a fog. Creatures inside the fog cannot see beyond their reach, preventing them from ranged attacks. Yeah. But I've got to go for Wild Font. If I touch a container holding something, such as water or oil, for a minute, that vessel just keeps producing that thing.
Wow, so you just have a bucket pouring water.
Yes. I also like Gills, which is you chant water, and then anyone who is... when you spritz the water on a creature, I guess that includes myself, they grow small but visible gills, allowing them to breathe underwater for an hour. What I'm really doing is choosing that to get to this next one, which is Steel Sprout, which I think sounds great. You extend your hand and close your eyes. and you permanently turn a nearby metal object
Ooh.
into a weave of delicate plants. So I feel like he gets out of bed at the crack of dawn, the birds are singing, like the sunshine is streaming through the trees, and all his little woodland friends are all like having a chirpy day, saying hello to each other, like good morning, and good morning to you, actually. All of that kind of, it's all so wholesome. He grabs his cloak and his bow and he goes for a little patrol around, kind of as far into the woods as his father will let him, but he's a bit tricksy and he goes a little bit further. But I'd say probably on this particular day he goes a bit further and then finds like a little cozy spot to fall asleep. Falls asleep next to the brook and wakes up way past lunchtime and heads back to town to find a friend of his in tears at the edge of the town, saying that a bard came by, performed a song for all the villagers, which they all absolutely loved because they could harmonize and join in. But then while they were all busy like doing a little improvised musical number, the bard took every last penny from the communal pot that they just keep.
There's one big pot in the
There's
middle.
just one big pot with all their money. They say it's because it's easier to keep an eye on it, but actually it's a liability in itself. So once again, the town is broke. Once again. And I feel like Poppyseed's had enough of this, and he's off to find this bard, so he storms off into the woods. Just put that in there.
Lovely.
There you go.
Beautiful. So as Poppyseed comes to the edge of the woods, and there's like fields. It's like the edge of the woods, furthest he's ever been from home. And he's staring out into the fields.
I think first off, he's like absolutely stunned. Like, he's never actually seen like further than 50 meters because there's always been a tree there. Like so to like
so like rolling hills,
just
and fields of like grass, wildflowers.
I'd say it's like pretty mind blowing for him, like to be able to see like perspective. Just like there's a cow over there, but it's this big. I've never seen a cow that big before. So he's pretty amazed. So I think first thing he does is scrambles up the tree to get as high as he can, kind of take a big look around. But he's nervous, but he's determined to get that money back. And he's looking. Is it all kind of uniform sweeping hills? Is there anything? Is there like
in the very, very far distance? There's like you can see there's like it's really far away, like a little village.
I think he doesn't know any better, and he sets off.
Okay. As soon as he leaves the tree line, a purple mist bellows out. It swirls around and isolates him, and he can't see beyond it. He can see a rough tree line behind him, so like 2 or 3 trees, but that's covered in this purple, thick, smoky mist.
Okay.
And I guess he's just got a clearing of grass in front of him.
So there's a bit that isn't covered in purple mist.
Yeah,
it's like
a
big
ring around.
It's like an arena of
like
purple smokes just popped up around him.
And it's laterally made, so quite a big gusts, and he hears some screeching in those gusts, and it kind of echoes overhead. And Arakokra appears above you and fires an arrow, pins you to the ground.
Crikey. Like through the cape? Through the leg?
Through the cape, yeah. Pins the cape down.
Ah!
And then another appears and it sweeps out of the mist and just hovers above you. They start screeching at each other.
Like an angry screech or like a conversational screech?
It's like a... You can't quite... Have you encountered Arakokras before?
I don't think he has. I feel like they're in a different part of the ecosystem. They're not
Yeah.
like knocking around in like a cute little pixie hollow. So I feel like Poppyseed's just like, hey, what are you doing? Like, stop, let me get up.
You notice that they're not specifically like on you. They're really alert. And don't forget there's this purple mist swelling around.
He's going to pull at his cape to see if he can get it loose from
Sure.
this arrow.
Should we roll?
Let's roll. And it's a 1. Perfect first roll.
So
Nailed
you're
it.
still stuck. A lightning strike hits a tree. The one that's over you tries to make a lunge into the sky with you, but it fails as the tree kind of knocks his wing and you're still pinned down. So it all kind of crashes around. He kind of lands and rolls towards the edge of the mist. So he's like right on the edge of this kind of arena-esque area. And you feel a pair of hands grab your ankles. And you look down and you see nothing. It's just the feeling of someone grabbing your ankles.
It's like the purple mist near me at this point, or like?
There's nothing near you, just invisible hands.
I think like at that point, Poppyseed pulls the emergency, breaks the glass, emergency button. He transforms, and I think he transforms into an owl. It looks like the only way out of this is up, and I'd rather not something pulling on my feet. So he transforms into an owl and tries to beat his wings and take off.
Okay, well, strong winds pick up,
Oh,
and they swirl and swirl and swirl. The birdman, kind of whipped into a tumble, throws you into like the eye of the storm. You're just like in the middle.
and this is the purple mist. Like it's like a vortex now. It's like right around us.
Yeah.
Like, and up above is like even like a window of sky.
There's a window of sky, but you are still being held by invisible hands.
God, they haven't given that up. Even though I'm an owl.
You've changed, but they were still up there. Your ankles turned into owl ankles.
Ah, it's convenient for them, isn't it? So at this point, I feel like in owl form, like flapping the wings, pecking at the area around the ankles. If they can have like density enough to grab an ankle, does that mean you can get at their hands?
Should we roll for it?
Yeah. Anything's better than a 1.
Anything's better than a 1.
Other than
See how weighted this dice
another
is.
1. That is a 13.
Yeah, you start pecking at it, and yeah, sure.
Can feel it.
You can feel it. You can suddenly like, oh, there is actually something grabbing hold of me. Well, then hit for 2 then.
Perfect.
In the eye of the storm, as you look up, suddenly a white, blinding light hits you, and all you see is a blurred silhouette, and you hear a strange language and a melody. It's just like echoing just behind this kind of like the white noise of the wind. The Aarakocras are firing arrows into this thing, but they're being deflected and just hitting the trees like behind them, or like out into the field or into the mist. It was just like they're not even going in a straight line.
So what's this figure doing up at the top?
It's hovering.
Okay.
You can see the silhouette. It's like blurry.
Oh, I
There's
see.
so much light coming behind.
What? He's got 5 meters out of the woods. And this has happened to him. He is panicking. He doesn't know what to do, so he doubles down, and I think he goes, I think you can do this. I think he goes straight from owl to rat.
Owl to rat.
Yes.
Okay.
Getting smaller and trying to escape. They're pretty slippery, wriggly creatures. Does that
Yeah.
get him any purchase out of this?
He is
These-
pinned. He's
He
pinned
is
there.
pinned. That's less than ideal. How close are the birds to him at this point?
They're still being kind of whipped around. They're flying against it all and just trying to fire arrows at this
That's just
guy.
not going. I feel like at this point, now he knows that his go-to animal form change thing has instantly failed. I think he tries to join them, turns back into his little self, struggles, shooting arrows straight up from where he is towards whatever that is. Shall I roll?
You should roll for
I
being
should roll
able
just-
to fire an arrow,
Wow.
and then we'll work out what the outcome is.
16.
So you're able to pull it back,
Yeah.
really tough. Let one fly. It's not going to go anywhere near it. It's just the guy sees it coming. It's just like, pshink. At this point, more lightning strikes are happening. It strikes one of the Aarakocra and forks off and hits the other one. And they both go flying out of the mist.
Wow.
Another lightning strikes. it hits you. You pass out.
Escalate quickly.
That's where we'll leave it.
And that's why you never leave the woods, kid.
Thank you for watching the Prelude. Poppyseed's quest has just begun. There are 2 other preludes before the main quest begins. Be sure to like and follow along.